Kate, are you there? Uh-oh, technical difficulties. Kate, we might have to, it might just be, we're going to, Kate, let me remove you and you're going to have to maybe come back. Sometimes it does that. Or wait, I added you again. Are you there now? X, come on, X. Hold on, Kate. I'm going to remove you. Kate, request again. Kate, oh, Kate had to exit out. They exit out Kate? Kate, we'll bring you back, Kate. We're going to bring Mike on, our wrestling informant. Mike, welcome back to the show.
Hey, Ryback, how are you?
I'm well. How are you today?
Not too bad. So I wanted to get your opinion on something that's kind of, it's been bubbling over the last few weeks, if not months, but more noticeably last few weeks. Did you hear anything about what Matt Hardy said on his podcast this past Friday?
What was that?
Okay, so, and this isn't anything new. I mentioned this kind of to you last time.
I think I know where you're going to say it. I might have seen this.
Yeah. So this would be my question. I'll just get right to the point. Look, at this point, I think the roster is so big, and again, I'm not one of these people that likes to dump on Matt Hardy. I've always felt the business didn't give back to Matt what Matt gave the business. I really do. I feel like Matt always gave so much, and
I agree.
Look, it is. I always thought there was more of an opportunity there, especially if they would have, veered away from the scripted promos so much when he had his, feud with Jeff. I want to say in 2009. There was something there. It was just too heavily scripted, but whatever. I'll get to the point.
Matt's a career, by the way. I think an amazing career, and it is a physical actor. I'll tell you the one thing just before you go into the thing.
Yeah.
And this is from a fan standpoint. Before I was even in the business, WWE fucked up royally not having him go over Edge after the Lita storyline, or the with the was it the Matt and Edge storyline? Was it over Lita?
Yeah.
That to me. And as a fan, did not make sense because he, and just not even going by the real facts, but just storyline reasons from whatever was presented storyline wise with everything, that character needed to come back and win. And I remember they didn't have him win that feud with it. And it never, and I just feel like it never made sense with that. But that's him playing his role and the company not letting him have more. And he made the most of everything and got way more over without them on that. But I agree with you completely. I think he could have had much more sooner in his career had they just altered his role slightly. So
yeah, he won the cage match, which in my opinion, that Matt, I don't know if you remember it, that Matt and Edge cage match for that, I want to say Unforgiven 05, one of the best cage matches I've ever seen. It was unbelievable, especially when those two had real issues and they put things aside to do business. It was unbelievable. But he ended up losing the ladder match, which was the deciding.
That was what I'm talking. That he needed to win the last. He needed the final one, in my opinion. Just on that, and you could have rode that path further. I think I just think that I just know watching from the outside in on that the momentum was there, and it was a failed opportunity on that end. And Jeff always was treated better, in my opinion, just by the company, how they treat people like with that. So I love Matt. I think he's one of the all-time greats. So
he is. And this is why it brings me no joy to say this. I just have eyes.
Yeah.
And I don't miss things, unfortunately. I wish I didn't. It's like with Edge. I love Edge to death. If you watch an Edge match now, and you know this, you would notice this before I even would, he's really not bumping. He's really not, and he doesn't have to, really. But you just watch that, and you're like, okay, that's where he's at, but he still has the charisma. He still can connect with the audience. Matt's podcast Friday was basically, and I hate stuff like this, but he was basically trying to con Tony Khan with the idea of, I want to help younger talent. But then he also, and I don't think he remembers saying this publicly, it sounds like he's pitched a faction with him and Jeff to join Edge and Christian, which, if you read between the lines, Matt doesn't want to put anybody over. And you just listen to this. And so this would be my question to you. Tony doesn't want to be the bad guy. Like you and I have talked about this so much. And I don't even think this is being the bad guy. It's being a businessman. It's looking at the lay of the land and saying, okay, let's just say Matt, since Jeff came in, got bumped up to $800,000, right? Let's just pretend that's the figure he's making.
Okay.
You're making $800,000 a year. Your physical skills have diminished. Now, look, this is more of a wrestling company than an entertainment company. Not that you can't have more stories on there, because they definitely can.
They definitely need them. They need them. I do believe that is. I think that's their biggest downfall is not emphasizing that. I do. I firmly believe that though, and from the things I've heard and talked to people, like it, I do think that needs to be a thing, but that it's not my company. So, but
no.
Yeah.
Do you think that Tony should sit down and have the necessary uncomfortable conversation with Matt Hardy and just say, look, here are the options here. We can give you a release. We can pay you out the rest of your deal if you don't want to come to TV or whatever, and figure this out. Because I feel like, now look, he's not there a lot, but a lot of the young talent in the locker room look up to him, rightfully so.
Yeah.
Do you think that Tony should be of the mind, not outright fire people, because I don't see him ever doing that. He doesn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But give the talent the option to say, hey, look, this is the scenario we have. If it's not something that meets your satisfaction, then we can always negotiate a release. Do you think he should start being willing to do that more?
I mean, they've got a ton of people over there,
Right.
and they don't need everyone that they have. That's for sure. Now, I don't know. Maybe there's, and I don't know what they're, how profitable or not profitable they are, and whatnot on that. It's a tough thing. So like this, I know it's like I understand Matt's perspective on things, because this business there's always kind of been a war with old and young in this business, where the young guys feel they don't get what they should because of old guys taking spots. And then what happens is, though, then those young guys get older and they've never really they've may have made money, but maybe they didn't always get everything they wanted. So they're continuously still wanting more. And then they become the old guys. And then there's now young guys. And now it's like they're now in the role of the guys they were up against when they were younger. And it's kind of this never ending cycle in the business. But you need a combination of the right ones of everything with this. And in this business, it's a crazy business with this when you get caught up in all of it. So I understand where Matt is, and I understand what Matt probably wants. And it's a tough thing, I think, it's been his whole life, right? So he's never not had wrestling in his entire, for even before adulthood, his whole life has been as a pro wrestler. So I don't think he's never not had pro wrestling in his life, where, I was able to step away and do other things. And so now I can see things in another light. And he just hasn't experienced that yet. And many wrestlers never escape that, unfortunately, as well. And maybe they don't want to escape that either. I think, though, there comes a point, though, where physically you have to do what's best for yourself health wise. And wrestlers are not always the best person to leave that decision up to, where there needs to be an outside force that says, look, you probably need to stop. But there needs to be maybe an alternative to give them an option to keep them active, or in a way. And I think Matt is open, and Matt's very smart to want to do other things in the business as well with that. And I just think maybe some alternatives need to be presented. I think I still think he could be used on TV in ways. And I think if he wants to be used, and I don't know wrestling wise, and I haven't seen a match of his lately. I just know I've seen things in the past year where he's definitely, you could tell, and he's had all the hip problems and all the years of bumps where there's the bodies, it gets wrecked over time. Not to everybody that doesn't escape it with that or give themselves a break from it. So, it's a tough decision on that. I know where Matt's coming from. I know Matt probably wants to be a big part of TV and be used and help make people but also, though, still get over. And he just was really over. He's always been over. But the broken Matt Hardy and with the Wyatt, and that's not horribly all that way super far off, but it that time has passed on that. And in this company, they are very just wrestling oriented. I think I do believe he wants to be involved on an entertainment standpoint more. And I don't think those options are as available in AEW as they are in WWE. And I think he's probably frustrated from that. And this again, I'm guessing, I don't know Matt well enough to speak for him, but I can just say, just what I could see from the outside, I feel like, like WWE, like Jinder Mahal, he's not really wrestling, but he's being used as a manager on TV, right? Where I don't know if he's had injuries or something, but they find ways to keep certain guys here and there, whether they're being used a ton or not. But I understand Matt's frustrations of wanting to still be on TV because he has a big following. He's well known. He's never not going to be well known, and he's still at a point where he's like he probably knows that that window is closing, where he desperately wants to finish out strong on that. But it's tough, man. I don't know what the answer is on it because I'm not there and don't see. I do think he could be figured into TV still. Maybe not from a performance standpoint of wrestling all the time, an edge because but they are like with the craziness over there and the wrestling style. I think they do need storyline driven stuff, but they haven't gone that route. But their numbers also haven't gotten better.
Right. Yeah. And I mean that's a reality of it. That's definitely something that they could continue to look to solve. But I'll mention one more thing, and I'll let you go. Did you hear? And you're not going to be surprised by this. I bet you'll laugh because you won't be surprised. Did you hear that Nick Khan went to Warner Brothers Discovery in October to try and get AEW thrown off the air in favor of Raw?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So this just tells you, now I keep saying this, that market share wise, I don't think WWE, even if AEW's around the next 10, 15 years, hopefully, God willing, yep, I don't see anybody touching WWE's market share. They're too big. Now, I foolishly said, by the way, Ryback, when Kurt Angle went to TNA in 06, I said they were going to really challenge WWE. How fucking stupid was I? Just for TNA could never, unfortunately, do that. Yeah. But it sounds like to me, and again, Drew McIntyre has not put pen to paper. And this isn't just necessarily about Drew. It's about a broader issue for WWE. Tony can match or exceed and offer terms where these guys who are beat to shit, as you know, better than anybody, they could work once a week, once every 3 weeks, live in another part of the world and still come to TV, however it's done. And I think the WWE is going to ramp up as we go forward into 2024 beyond. They're going to ramp up efforts to try and kill this company. Because for them to go to Warner Brothers Discovery, that just tells you all you need to know. And again, there's a lot of delusional WWE fans that think WWE doesn't care about AEW. Yeah. They care because of the financial backing that they have.
Yep.
That's the only reason they care at all. Otherwise, they would they wouldn't pay attention. But what do you think of that they would go and try and get them thrown off the air at their own television platform?
That's how they operate. They're evil. I just know that right, you're dealing with evil. And Nick has been with anyone that thinks Nick Khan is like a good fucking guy. That right. Vince McMahon's the biggest piece of shit, most evil human being on the planet. Do you think Vince is going to go, I'm going to get this angel to be by my side? No, Vince can't be around a fucking angel. He needs to be around somebody Vince had that guy because he's a cutthroat motherfucker. And he's right, manipulative just like Vince. But maybe he portrays it a little, he maybe has a little friendlier, softer fucking face than Vince and the other people, where people, he's not quite like those. Nope. They're all cut from the same cloth with this. I think that it's fucking horrible with that. But what I think AEW needs to realize is, we have all this talent. Why not? Here's just as an opinion. You've got this a plethora of talent over there. Give the talent opportunities that WWE doesn't give talents. You have the roster to get people to where people could take breaks. Get talents gigs on TV shows, movies. Get people on the fucking talk shows every week. Make people larger than life superstars. Get a kick-ass social media fucking team, not some fucking jabronis, and help build up the talents, because the AEW social media fucking sucks. And I'm saying this, I am self-made on this with WWE illegally suppressing me, and I still have more followers on TikTok than anybody active on TV. That should not be the fucking case. And that's being suppressed with it for fucking 7.5 years. So they need to fucking focus on this shit and make these fucking talents bigger than ever, and then get more talents are going to want to go there because they're going to be given the opportunities that WWE doesn't let the majority of talents. So they have to start looking at the bigger picture of how they could fight this with it's not just get a name. And I know this, I will never fucking just go there and sign and just go here, just put me on your TV show every week. It won't make a fucking difference. There needs to be a grand fucking plan on it with a story and fucking on the outside looking in. With this, you can't just hey, let's just take a name and plug him into our program. You could put the fucking one of the greatest of all time, Kurt Angle, on the TNA. It ain't gonna fucking change the dynamic of the whole thing, right? With it on its own. So I think they got to be looking at things like that of how can we make this better. I think Tony Khan should be looking at how to form a union for pro wrestling with it. I think he should really find ways to get the focus on the company of all the things Vince couldn't do. do all the right things and make wrestling better with this and get so much attention on your brand that you can't be ignored. That WWE, that the world is fucking, fuck, this company is taking wrestling by storm. Don't just say we're going to fucking give you the fake wrestling bell to bell. Fuck, it doesn't work like that. And I love this. I love this more than anything. That's not what it is, though, with it. And so you have to fucking look at this from other ways with it. And like, because you're dealing with evil with them and they're going to do everything in their power. It's not just about how much money you have, though. It's about public perception. You need to be running social media ads, getting every kid's eyes on your fucking wrestlers, kid-friendly wrestlers. You need fucking teenage-friendly wrestlers, adult-friendly wrestlers. You got to have fucking storylines to get people in. And then you go out there and kick ass as well in the ring with it. That is what you're going to have to do, though. If you're competing with a fucking monster, evil, fucking multi-billion-dollar corporation that has ties to the fucking strongest, most evil fucking people on the planet. It's not just about how much money you have also on it, but it's about what you do with everything. And that's looking on the outside in. And I think it's a hell of a battle to be in on his. I think but that's where you got to get the pieces. And I'm sure he thought about this going into the wrestling business, that this was going to be probably the toughest thing that he ever fucking went into. But I don't know if he truly understood just what he was up against with WWE. And I don't think anybody really does until you're going through it. And like I told you, I underestimated on I didn't think Vince and them would be like what they did with all this stuff and the fake fucking articles and trying to create hate in the social media. Like, it's fucking evil. Like, they tried to kill me with it. It's and like, so what do you think they're going to do with them? Because they're fucking with their money and the future of what they're trying to build. Because Vince, it's all about power when you're dealing with these people. It's not just money. It's the power and control that comes with it that they truly get off on.
Yeah, everything with your ankle, I think that's exactly why they did what they did to you, because you have a story that's very unique.
Yeah.
That would challenge a lot of their business practices. If you were to be put on a legitimate platform, before they put the screws to you, all those. I remember bringing it up to you, and you've talked about the Paul Heyman picture that was all over Facebook. For example, you've seen that was what they were doing, but
they ran fake ads against me. But we see, and I can't stress this. You and everybody can see my Twitter was suppressed for 7.5 years.
Yes,
my Twitter is now being seen, but now that's only, it's not even being seen to what it could be. That's being seen now after 7.5 years and losing hundreds of thousands of followers, not gaining new followers here. But the perception of the hate and everything that they put out on me, I lost so many fans in this, in suppressing my voice with all the fake, and that a lot of people that hate me from those articles and the things they've seen and not hearing the truth. And where now, even if they think that they're wrong, they're not going to admit it, because that's a whole other fucking argument they got to have with themselves. Right. So it created all this extra hate on me. And you can say, oh, well, you didn't do yourself any favors. Well, fine, fucking think what you want. I fought for the fucking what was right and the truth all along with it.
And you were right.
And I was right. And I've been right on all of it.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I'm not saying I'm never not fucking right. I've been wrong before on things, but I've been right on all of this with it. And I've provided facts in the documents. It's like, it's just absurd, but how fucking far they will go for this stuff. It's like, and I'm not the only one. And I know, and I'm telling you, Mike, they have other fucking wrestling personalities fucking their nuts cut off on this platform. And I think they've done it they've been doing it. And I think with me, I just got that NDA with the thing and I put it together what they were doing. But who knows how long they've been doing shit like this in other ways, in other areas. And the Nick Khan thing's just another fucking part of it.
Yeah. I think they sent, and I don't think he'd ever talk about it publicly, I think they sent either they sent him or they called him Edge about taking down his Edge Rated R Twitter handle.
Yeah.
Which is, again, that's small potatoes to what they did to you, but it's still petty. But I was going to say one more thing. Did you see the script that leaked out that proved that Punk, other than his hockey remark, Punk was scripted word for word for word, minus the little hockey jab in his promo last Monday. And that just tells you, look, and I don't like the guy behind the performer anymore. The performer to take the ability to play with the audience out of his hands. When Triple H said he had to agree to our terms to come back, I truly wonder if that was part of it, in that you were playing ball with our scripted process, among other things.
But the thing is he always has.
There you go.
This is what the pipe bomb was a scripted promo.
There you go.
This is what this is where I think people, the marks in them are too strong sometimes. Phil, his whole time in WWE, he played by the rules of the promos. I watched him, many of our promos. I saw the promo with The Rock that day on the TLC match. I told you He came up to me and showed me his promo where it was all typed out word for word. Now, that's not to say that he doesn't give input, but that all has to be approved by Vince or whoever Vince is designated to approve it, which it usually at the time was Vince, or now would be Triple H. So everybody going out there is playing by that same book. Now, obviously, there might be things here and there where you improv a little bit, something comes up, but for the most part, you have to stick, and that's always been the thing. And Phil always has done that in WWE. I think AEW was the first time we saw that, not where that's a different environment over there, and I don't know the process creatively over there, but we've all heard it's always more free reign over there as far as wrestlers having more input. WWE, that input exists, but it can be neutered or cut off before it gets approved or not get approved. And so it's like, though, they have your promo in Gorilla, just so people know how this works. They're literally, the writers are over there listening to you and reading the promo word for word to see how far you go off of it with it. And as long, you got to make sure you can stray here and there, but you got to hit the main points, and you got to be, the verbiage has to be similar. You can't just go off and fucking go off and for your own business on that, like that. There's repercussions with that. And Punk has always played by the rules on that out there. That's the biggest fucking myth with him by a lot of the people. They want to believe the pipe bomb was all a shoot. No, that was all written word for word with that. So
yeah.
And Phil, that too. It feels, and like, look, I've always said, like, he's a piece of shit human being, but he gets fucking numbers, and I love working the fucking idiots out there, and I fucking will go both sides of the fence all day long on all of it. But like, yes, he is talented, but he's also a piece of shit though, and he does a lot of really bad things and causes a lot of problems with this, and he shouldn't, like. I'm really interested to see how they use him. I really think he should put Seth over, and I think they should use him to put people over for quite a long time, personally, and fucking knock him down a peg or two. Because if you give him any of his power back, it's gonna blow up in their face. And you guys, I said it here first.
It sounds like Kevin Owens doesn't want to be around him. I don't know if you saw that interview where Kevin Owens was in the car. He was asked about Punk and took a long sigh and said, "I just want to have fun at work. If he does too, great." And then he was asked about Orton, and he talked about what a leader Orton. You could tell Kevin Owens was making a point.
Yeah.
And he's very good friends with the Young Bucks too. And I don't know if you ever heard the incident with Kevin Owens and Punk in a locker room. I want to say Ring of Honor years ago, but Punk screamed at him over something about a t-shirt. Yeah, so it's that to me, that's an interesting situation. But
and these names are bigger now. This is so, and here's the thing, and I want people to understand, and this is for the guy, I'm telling all the talent in WWE, and this is everybody, all the talent there, the guys there right now. You guys are fucking pussies and cowards if you let him take your spots. You do not let that motherfucking, you guys, Cody, fucking Usos, everybody, Reigns, Seth, Drew, you do not let that motherfucker take your spots. He left, he walked out, he fucking pussied out. He made every excuse in the book. He had no injuries. He fucking lied out of his mouth on me and other things with all of this. And he's fucking failed at everything he's done. You do not let that motherfucker come in and take your spots, because he's going to fucking cut your legs out from under you, and he's going to fucking cut your arms off and your fucking tongues off, and he's going to fucking eat you alive if you let him. He's a lying, manipulative piece of shit. He's created more hate for me, and I will fuck him up the moment I see him again. And it will fucking be game over. You guys are cowards if you let him fucking come in and fucking do that. You take control of that locker room. You don't let fucking him manipulate Hunter, fucking Nick Khan, or anybody else. He's a fucking pussy. You treat him like the pussy that he is. You don't buy his bullshit. Kevin, all of you, don't let him. I've worked with all these guys. They're all great human beings with this. You do not let that devil fucking loving motherfucker come in and take your spots. Fuck you guys if you do. None of you fucking, he has not fucking done any. You guys have been the ones on the road all the time, away from your families, helping Vince and that shit company make all your money, all that money over there. Do not let that piece of shit come in and take your spots, because he is there to fucking do just that. He doesn't give a fuck about anyone other than himself. He doesn't give a fuck about the betterment of the business. He is a fraud. He is a sociopath. He is a liar, and he will fucking manipulate whoever he can to squeeze whatever fucking else he can out of the business. Do not let him take your spots.
To what you just said, look, I'll never forget. I had a friend over watching that pay-per-view where he tore his arm and then did the famous press scrum, and my Twitter was blown up. I went on to watch it. And I'll never, that to me was the unmasking moment for those of us that, and again, you worked with him, you saw how he was, but a lot of fans, myself included, unfortunately, I'll raise my hand here, I'm not fooled anymore.
Yeah.
But watching what he did to tear down, and look, people would say whatever they want. Tony, socially awkward, whatever. Tony has made the wrestling business better for everybody in it because everyone has leverage, everyone has options, and nothing's ever going to be perfect. But that company allows wrestlers to maybe work, once every couple of weeks, your body's arrested, you do autograph conventions on the side that he doesn't take money from. There's a lot of good things that guy has done.
Absolutely.
A lot of good things. And for him to sit up there, he waited until AEW was in a place where he felt he could go there, where they weren't going to be a failure, because he didn't want to attach his name to a company getting off the ground that might have failed.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that to his name. There's a lot going on there. But when he sat up there and tore down the guy that ended a monopoly, I'll talk to people all the time, and I shouldn't, on Twitter, that don't understand. WWE had a monopoly since WCW died. TNA could not compete financially. New Japan could not compete financially. This is the only guy that's ever probably going to come along again. And I don't know if you ever heard this, but Richard Branson, at one point, 8-9 years ago, considered getting involved. There was even a rumor Ted Turner might get back involved. That's never going to happen again. This is it.
It's so tough, and WWE has such control over everything. And as Tony probably realizes now, and it's so time consuming, and all the hate and how poisonous the fucking wrestling community is too. Tony gets so much hate and everything too, and like the guy's trying to fucking do good and do the best that he can, and it's like, you know what I mean? And it's a crazy fucking thing. And Vince has so many of those fucking little brain fucking dead marks, fucking brainwashed on things of they're so loyal to that logo, and they're for all this shit.
Sad, Ryback. It's sad.
And it's there was someone that just posted a thing the other day in the 80s of all the guys. It was during the one of the song where everyone's all dressed up singing Vince, and I literally, it was on TikTok, and I literally just posted. I rarely comment. I just go, none of those guys are either here or affiliated with the company in any way. With that, it's like, and that should show you, and you can do that for anything in the 80s, the 90s. Like, it's pretty much almost everybody that has helped fucking them make all that money and do that aren't affiliated with the company. Very few they'll keep around for here and there. That eventually, though, they cut them. Everyone gets cut at some point with it. Like when they use you for every little bit and then just cut you off with all of it. And that should just tell you everything you need to know about them. But we should all be polling for Tony though, and them, and this, because the business is going to be far improved. Vince is not going to be looked at in a good way as time keeps going on.
No, and just to bookend this one more time, it's this simple. I've never understood, because I call myself a wrestling fan. I find WWE's business practices abhorrent, but I enjoy some of their product, especially the pay-per-views. The weekly TV to me sucks. It's too scripted, too boring. But I enjoy the pay-per-views they put on. They
do have great moments. They're the biggest wrestling company in entertainment. They do a lot of great things. It would be stupid not to say that. But I
just hate what they do to people. I hate this idea.
Brother, same.
You have 9/10 of the market share. AEW might not even have 1/10. They just buy relatively, right?
Yeah.
Why are we doing this thing where, oh God, we can't have because if WWE was really smart about this, AEW is a good thing. If you don't have something for somebody, they might get over and come back in 2 or 3 years or more.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't ever think that they should look at them as their unofficial feeder or anything like that. But you're going to have plenty of guys that you might see something in, but not have the time for them. They might get over and come back bigger. Look at Cody.
Yeah.
Cody played that so well. And they just want, in their fan base, more than anything else, because we know what WWE does, their fan base to not see that it's better to have another option for wrestlers to make a living. That's where the WWE fans, to me, they don't give a shit about the wrestlers. They care about the logo, as you said.
They don't care about anything. They don't care about the fans either. They don't care about any of it.
Right.
That's what it's just it's a money making machine for power and control, and to feed into whatever crazy shit that Vince always did on behind the scenes with all of that. And like, so many people are just so confused by it and brainwashed with it. But I mean, the truth always wins eventually with all of this. And it's
buddy Steve Carrier. Look at your buddy Steve Carrier over the weekend.
Oh, that, you know what? The fucking, I'm so glad you brought that up. I forgot all about that. So the motherfucker, why don't you, Mike, go ahead and please inform everyone what happened, by the way.
Right. So long story short about Steve Carrier, before I get to what he did over the weekend, but Steve Carrier, by all accounts, was an arm for WWE to put out a lot of negative. Let's just say Ryback said something.
Yeah.
They would put a very misleading headline, and they would very much parse the quotes in a way that made it look like Ryback was saying something he wasn't.
From the very
saying.
beginning,
This went on for a long time when Ryback was doing his YouTube show with Raj Giri and these quotes would be taken out of context, and WWE fans that didn't want to like Ryback anyway because of the way WWE treated him, they started going after him and saying negative stuff and whatever. But Steve Carrier has been arrested twice that we know of. First time, drunk driving issue, and this past time, allegedly, I didn't see this exactly, but it's being alleged, of battery on a woman, I think, or whatever it was. But this has been what's happening with the WWE's PR arm when they have somebody that has a powerful story that could hurt them. And anyone that's listened to Ryback for a while knows he had a bad ankle. The doctor misdiagnosed his situation, and the WWE basically said, sign this document or your push is killed, and they fucked him anyway. Yeah. And it's a long story. You can tell it much better than me. But that's one of the things that the WWE has done. They've used Steve Carrier to sully your name.
And others as well, as long with the published ads, and to literally just put out as many negative things to turn people against me, to try to fucking shut me up and destroy me while suppressing me on all the platforms with this. And this motherfucker, I told you guys, he'd go off on his stupid fucking drunken drug rants on Twitter before and everything. And I was like, the truth always fucking wins with all of it. And look at it, but these are the people running the fucking things. Like, just take a look at that motherfucker. That sloth fucking crooked-eyed motherfucker.
He's never slept with anyone. Let's be
real.
He's
and talking shit about my fucking girlfriend and other fucking people I've done. Like, fuck you, you piece of shit. I hope you get everything you deserve. I'm not like, I told you, I'm not Jesus. I'm not Dr. Martin Luther King. Fuck evil. You deserve to get a fucking bullet put in your fucking head, you fucking loser. Like, fuck you. Get off this fucking planet. I'm not going to fucking beat around the bush on how I feel. You are a piece of shit, and you do not negotiate or try to reason with evil. Fuck you, motherfucker, and all of you are going to fall one by one. Mark my words with it.
No, and just to bookend this one last thing, because there's people that want to come on, and once again, I've gone over time, but that guy is the perfect example of somebody that is, I think he's 40. He's going to be 40 or close to 40. He said I would bet he's slept with one person or less, and this is a lot of the fans that, I don't even want to call them fans that are in your mentions all the time on Twitter.
No, they're fucking losers. There's people, and look, I know I'm being harsh on all of this, but these are fucking very negative-minded fucking people that have not done well in life, and look, for whatever fucking reasons, but they're very hateful. And if you think, like, we could all sit back, and I'm the most positive motherfucker, and I live my life, but I do not put up with fucking hate and bullshit that's fucking made up out of the fucking blue, trying to attack me on how I live my fucking life and what I do. I'm a good fucking person. I work fucking hard. I'm not a fucking saint with all of this, but I don't go out of my way to try to make other people's lives fucking miserable, or fucking go out of my way in business that I'm not involved in. You motherfuckers are some evil motherfuckers with this, and you got your own fucking issues with it, and you hate and you hate and you hate and you hate with it. I just fuck all of you, man. You fucking just deserve to get blocked and smashed and get the fuck out of here. But he's a part of the whole fucking problem in the business with it, and it just needs to fucking he needs to get what he deserves with this. But that's, the people are very like-minded, like Chase, the fucking loser stalker that's going to get fucking his prison time coming up. That motherfucker is fucking talking with him, and fucking these they're all like-minded. They're fucking diseased-minded parasites leeching off of each other with all of this. And that's what people don't understand. So I know this already. I know what they look like. I know how they talk and how they act. They're not fucking normal, but they're polluting fucking other wrestling fans' minds with their bullshit. And they fucking ringside news, fucking retard news. That's who the fucking is, a fucking retard. That's fucking, you ain't never been fucking ringside your entire life, you fucking cunt. On it, you never fucking put any of the work. You never fucking lifted a weight. You don't know anything about fucking nutrition, about fucking discipline, about consistency, and anything anyway fucking positive. And you fucking shit on all the men and women who actually fucking had the courage to go for their dream and do this. But those are the fucking people other people are listening to on that. And where I'm like, fuck off, motherfucker. Like, but look, he got what he deserved, and hopefully he gets everything, fucking gets some time for this or whatever. Hopefully he loses everything, loses that fucking shit company, and fucking is done with. It's just a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, look again. You were not being harsh. You're being honest, because I see these people all the time.
Yeah,
there's people that want to believe the Warner Brothers Discovery Raw rumor because they want AEW to die. Because and just look at this. Their lives are so sad and pathetic that their lives in their mind would be enriched by having a monopoly again.
Yeah, they don't care. What they do is they go from one thing to the next of just wanting everyone to be pain and suffering because that's what they're going through. And so they actually they feel like, hey, my life isn't so bad. Other people are losing everything too. That's what they want. And they go from thing to thing to thing to thing and distracting themselves rather than fucking doing the work and reading the fucking books and talking to the right people and doing the work and getting in the gym and fucking fixing their fucking food and their nutrition to fix their fucking negative feelings. They don't want to put that work in. They want, oh, poor me. Take your fucking shitty depression, fucking prescription drugs, and or any other fucking thing think you need to fucking patch up your fucking problems. It ain't gonna fucking fix them. You got to fix your fucking mindset. And they all fucking leech off of each other, and social media gave them all a fucking voice to find each other, and here we are.
Yeah, and I'll leave you on this mercifully, but the best part about having somebody like Tony, I'm sure you know Kyle O'Reilly had a neck surgery last year.
Yeah.
By all accounts, from his Instagram, it looks like he's trying to use some kind of new technology to get his nerves firing up. But the bottom line on somebody like him, even Adam Cole, Tony Khan said to Adam Cole when he was out with this really bad concussion, you're going to get paid every fucking cent I owe you.
Yeah.
Regardless if you come back or not. Same thing with the Kyle O'Reilly, who's worked hard, had physical matches for years, and is paying the price, unfortunately. And that's why this guy needs to succeed. That's why this guy needs to succeed.
And I hope Tony, though, but like too, and you got people don't understand, but this, so we're seeing these injuries now, and people don't like these nerve injuries and things like with the style. Like this is why though, this isn't anything new. Wrestlers already knew this. This is why working safe and not killing yourself every match or doing things or putting your life in jeopardy is a thing with this. And WWE wrestlers tend to know this better because it's taught to us from an early age. Like, hey, look, we know you guys are great athletes and can do all these things. Here's why you don't do this all the time. Here's why it's good to learn how to tell stories and to fucking get reactions doing other things. And like, it's not because you're lazy. You're working just as hard, but you're putting your energy into getting the reactions in different ways. Whereas if you just go out there and go, oh, we don't have any character work, we're just going to show everybody that we love wrestling and we're going to kick out of all the moves and not really sell too much and just fucking run our bodies into the ground and show these fucking marks how bad we love this. There's no longevity in that. And it's a scary thing. And I just hope Tony and them really fully learn from these things happening, and like where they really put an emphasis on being safer in storytelling and trying to get as much mileage out of everything as possible.
Yeah. Well, look, I'll let you go on that. As always, you're beyond generous, and I love all the insight you provide. And just again, congratulations on getting your Twitter
Thank you, Mike.
Unblocked. And again, Mr. Carrier, hopefully is still in jail, and hopefully he'll stay there. And again, for anyone listening, and I'm not just saying this, Ryback's been remarkably consistent on everything he said about the business practices WWE has employed to hurt him and limit his ability to make a living outside their company.
And anybody that thinks that I'm crying, like, because I see that all the time, I'll cry. What do you think somebody's supposed to do? You think I'm supposed to just lay over and let them fuck me in the ass and just fucking die like a little bitch, or stand up? Like I've tried to and I reached out to these companies forever before trying to get this settled, before I went public with it. I'm fighting for my life and my livelihood. If I didn't get this stuff fixed to the degree, like Mike, I'm making on TikTok more than I ever made wrestling with this because I fought, and that's just one thing. And my supplement company is fucking profitable, making money every month. And my other fucking investments in my podcast, I'm making money with this. And that was being suppressed still, like with it. But it cost me hundreds of thousands, if not millions, with this, on top of having to spend hundreds of thousands to keep my fucking name and all this other bullshit with it. So it's like people, like, if I am fighting for my livelihood on this of being seen, where I was being seen already. It wasn't like I wasn't being seen. I was being seen with it. And they took that away with this. So it's like the truth always wins. And I really believe people, it's going to be years, and all this stuff is going to exist, that when this story gets bigger, because this story is going to be told on Rogan. It is going to be the icing on the fucking cake with all this. Elon, and they have the facts, and they're going to be able to go back and look at the fucking analytics and see to YouTube. You're going to go back and be able to look at the analytics and go, holy fuck, this guy was fucking screaming and fighting and fucking telling the truth the whole time with it. And you guys are the ones that are going to have to fucking look in the mirror and just look at, oh, what a piece of shit you are for not having the courage to fucking fight for what you wanted. Because I'm not like you. I'm fucking hungry. I'm different. And I fight for what's fucking right.
No, to what you just said, there are a lot of WWE fans that believe that their business practices aren't what you're describing, what I'm saying. They don't want to believe any of this because, again, they've either got a mental issue, they've got something wrong with them.
They do, and that's something that needs to be talked about more. A lot of these people legit. And look, I've met mentally handicapped people and done the meet and greets, and I'm going to be retarded. People are the sweetest, nicest human beings on the world. Some people say you can't say that. I'm fucking saying it so you understand what I'm talking about. Mentally handicapped people are the sweetest, nicest people in the fucking world. They are fucking, they don't have a mean bone in their bodies. These wrestling fans, the gremlins, they're mentally off. They're not retarded. They're not full-blown mentally retarded, but they have something that's just fucking off. But they pass as normal fucking people by all accounts on it, by what we have in place in today's world. But they're fucking, something is significantly off with them. And all of us know this that are in the business. There's just a tick off with it where something's just fucking weird with it. And these are the fucking people that are like the way they are and hateful and fucking just trying to ruin everything. And they should never be fucking played to or appeased to. You got it, but it needs to be talked about more, like with this. But these are the people running the dirt sheets, the majority of them. They couldn't do it, so they get in and they have, like, they just are obsessed in this very negative, hateful way. And I truly believe it just stems from the inability to ever have done what they wanted to do. And that's that. It's like Chase. Chase is fucking absolutely fucking insane. He wanted, his whole goal, he wanted to be a WWE wrestler. I don't. If you go back and fucking and put the fucking doctor filled the guy up, it's gonna, all his root of evil comes from his inability to fucking be a WWE superstar. That it's on his, it goes back. We've got fucking, I had people do investigations. It goes back on fucking things we've seen. I'm gonna be a WWE superstar back 15 fucking years ago, and he never fucking did it. It ate him alive, and he went crazy with it. But these are the same people to different levels where they don't go off the deep end like him, but they fucking have something just off, and they're very hateful, fucking just fucking bad people, to sum it up.
Yeah. Well, look, I will finally let you go because I'm sure I've aggravated other people waiting, but thank you for your time. Congratulations again on getting unblocked. I'm seeing a lot more of your posts, which is awesome.
Thank you, Mike.
More people, you could tell a lot more people are viewing it, but have a good rest of your day. Have a great week.
You too, Mike. Thank you as always. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Good deal. Mike, our wrestling informant, always a great time. Super chats. Let me see here.